They kicked humans out of the galaxy with loud speeches and proud faces. At that time, every major alien council agreed on one thing. Humans were too dangerous, too stubborn, and too unpredictable. They said humans caused problems everywhere they went. They said humans did not listen, did not bow, and did not know their place. So the decision was made. Humans were expelled. No grand war was needed. The alien empires controlled the trade lanes, the jump gates, and the resources. They closed the doors one by one. Human colonies were cut off. Human ships were blocked from ports. Human diplomats were escorted out under guard. Some aliens even cheered as human flags were taken down. "Go back to your small corner of space," the council said. "Stay there. You are no longer welcome." Humans did not beg. They packed their ships. They dismantled stations. They took what they could and left the civilized galaxy behind. Their fleets disappeared beyond the mapped stars, into dark regions no one cared to explore. The galaxy felt relief. For a while. At first, everything seemed better. Trade routes were calmer. Councils had fewer arguments. No human captains arguing over rules. No human engineers questioning designs. No human soldiers volunteering for impossible missions. But slowly, things began to change. Pirate attacks increased. Without human patrols, outer routes became unsafe. Pirate clans learned that alien fleets followed strict rules and predictable formations. Convoys were ambushed again and again. Then border worlds started falling, not to great empires, but to small, ruthless species that had always feared humans. These species knew one thing very well. Humans were usually the ones who stopped them. Alien armies were powerful, but careful. They waited for approval. They waited for perfect odds. They waited for orders. Their enemies did not wait. A mining world burned because reinforcements arrived 2 hours late. Approval paperwork took longer than expected. A research station was overrun because commanders refused to fire near civilian zones, even when civilians were already lost. In the past, humans would have acted. Humans would have broken protocol. Humans would have charged in. Humans would have taken the blame afterward. But humans were gone. Then came the silent swarm. It appeared from beyond known space, like a shadow moving through stars. Entire systems went dark. Communications stopped. Ships vanished without distress calls. The alien councils panicked. Fleets were assembled, plans written, simulations run. They failed. The silent swarm did not fight like known enemies. It adapted fast. It learned faster. Every loss made it stronger. Energy weapons failed. Shield patterns were copied. Standard tactics were turned against their creators. Worlds fell. Billions died. That was when someone finally asked the forbidden question. Where are the humans? At first, the councils refused to say it out loud. Pride still burned stronger than fear, but fear was catching up quickly. Old records were opened, battle logs were reviewed, missions once labeled reckless were studied again, and a pattern appeared. Every time something impossible had been stopped in the past, humans were there. They had fought enemies with no retreat plan. They had charged when logic said run. They had sacrificed ships, cities, even planets to stop greater threats, and they had done it without asking permission. A junior council member finally said what everyone was thinking. "We kicked out the only species that doesn't know how to give up." Silence filled the chamber. Soon after, the first human signal was detected. It was old, faint, and far away, a deep space relay left behind long ago. The message was simple, unencrypted, and painfully human. "This is human space. Trespassers will be ignored. Survivors will be questioned." The alien delegation sent to human space was not proud. Their ships were unarmed. Their colors were neutral. Their message was carefully worded, polite, and desperate. They were shocked by what they found. Human space was no longer small. In the dark regions beyond the galaxy, humans had built something different. Their stations were rough but massive. Their fleets were fewer but heavily scarred. Every ship showed marks of battle, repairs over repairs, weapons added wherever space allowed. Humans had not weakened, they had hardened. The alien delegation was escorted to a human council, not a single grand chamber, but a room full of tired faces, worn uniforms, and officers who looked like they hadn't slept in years. A human admiral listened quietly as the aliens spoke. They apologized. They explained the threat. They begged. "We need you," the lead alien said. "Without you, the galaxy will fall." The admiral did not answer immediately. Finally, she said, "When we were part of your galaxy, you called us dangerous." "Yes," the alien replied softly. "You said we caused problems." "Yes." "You said we did not belong." The alien lowered his head. "Yes." The admiral leaned forward. "We didn't leave because you forced us out. We left because you showed us who you really were when things were easy." Silence. Then she stood. "But humans don't let the innocent die just to prove a point." The human response was not instant help. First, humans asked questions, hard ones. They demanded access to battle data, political authority, and full freedom of action. No committees, no delays, no restrictions. "Either we fight our way or we don't fight at all," the admiral said. The councils agreed. They had no choice. Human fleets returned like a storm. They did not move in perfect formations. They split, baited, ambushed. They used old weapons mixed with experimental tech. They sacrificed ships to learn enemy patterns, then exploited them brutally. Where aliens retreated, humans advanced. Where aliens hesitated, humans charged. They lured the silent swarm into gravity wells, into minefields, into traps that destroyed entire human task forces, but destroyed even more of the enemy. Human losses were heavy. Humans did not stop. Soldiers fought until oxygen ran out. Engineers rewired reactors mid-battle. Medics dragged wounded through fire. Slowly, impossibly, the swarm broke. The galaxy survived. When the war ended, the alien councils prepared grand ceremonies, speeches, medals, apologies. The human admiral declined them all. "We didn't come back for praise," she said. "We came back because someone had to." The councils offered humans their old seats back, trade privileges, political power. Humans refused. "We'll stand with you, but not under you." Now, when humans walk through alien space, they are no longer called dangerous. They are called necessary. And every council remembers one simple truth. They kicked humans out once. They will never make that mistake again.